All right. All right, let's bring it to a close, baby. Let's bring it to a close. Before we get into this, my name is Robert Ferguson. I am a guy who shares because I care. And I am bringing information to you with the goal of helping you optimize ability to nurture your health, but put you in a position where you can win. And with all of the misinformation out there, all of the misinformation out there, all kind of people saying that they have the answer, they have the solution when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to health. That's when I come in because we are evidence based, aka scientifically validated and clinically proven. Now, you have many people say they're evidence based, but not many people can say they're clinically proven. And you would think there would be more people that are clinically proven, but there's not. However, you do have me, and you have the work that we bring to the table. And for those of you who are familiar with my work, many of you are clients, many of you are success stories. You used to be a type 2 diabetic and now you're not. You used to be on blood pressure medication and now you're not. You used to be taking metformin and now you're not. You used to have a whole bunch of challenges and now you're not. So those of you who are living testimonies, I appreciate you because it's because of you and all of the people who give me a chance to work with that we can reverse all of these conditions, get people off medications, lower their blood glucose, put you in a place where you can win, where you can not only lose weight, but keep the weight off and not have to avoid foods, but enjoy foods and still get the results. No one else can say that. Most people are saying, go keto, go paleo, go this diet and that diet. And they sound great, but many of them are putting you in a position where they're worsening your health. And that is not a good thing. So today I'm going to talk about our upcoming conference called Food as Medicine. I'm going to share with you like what that means. I'm also going to give you some solutions. And this is one of two on this beautiful day of August 29th. It is a Tuesday, a Fat Loss Tuesday, 2023. So if you're catching it live, shortly after this, I'm going to do another one where I'm going to sit down with one of our coaches and have a candid conversation about weight loss, glucose, and getting off medications. But this time is about food as medicine. Now, if you're new to me, let me bring up a little slide here. Then I want you to know that this segment and everything I'm sharing with you is brought to you by our Detox Drop program. So people are enjoying our Detox Drop. They're getting results and is making it possible for us to really build our platform and be able to reach more people. And that includes you. So I want to say thank you for giving us this opportunity to share. And before I dive into it, okay, we got Linda's in the house. What's up, Linda? Linda's in the house. And anyone who's catching us live, because this is impromptu, we're very, very close to creating a schedule where we actually will be live on certain times, at certain times, on certain days. My goal is Monday through Friday to have a live. We're going to have a set time so we can really start to build our audience. And then we'll upload videos. So you want to go to our YouTube channel and hit the like and subscribe so that whenever we upload anything, you are fully aware of it. Okay? Someone else just said hi. Now, if you're in one of our private Facebook groups, we have one group with 6,500 people and growing, then it doesn't show the name when I'm using this platform. So unless you put dash after you make a statement in your name, I won't be able to give you a shout out and say what's up. But thank you anyway. So I appreciate you 100%. Okay, I want to get into this because this is a very interesting conversation to have. I mean, this is a really, really interesting conversation. Now, let me give you some background. I've been in talks with quite a few of the Fortune 100, Fortune 20 companies in the space of healthcare. We are moving forward with quite a few of them, and that's a great thing. But in the conversations, they use a term called food as medicine or food is medicine. And when I was first introduced to it, and I've been saying it forever, the way they define food as medicine, or food is medicine. So I'm just going to say food as medicine because that's how I see it. But you could say food is medicine. All of these people making millions of dollars 100% don't know what the hell they're talking about. They have it completely wrong. In every presentation I have, every doctor I speak with, they can't even come close to contesting me on this. I know what food as medicine is. I've applied it with clients of mine. I've watched them be successful. We got it down to a science. And there's a whole bunch of certification programs out there where people can learn to become nutritionists, they can learn to be trainers, and they can take this, and they can take that, but they do not have a methodology that is proven and clinically proven. They do not have a system in place. They are just talking. And I'm just being real. I've always been real. They're just talking. It's theory. Because for every person they can bring to the table who used to be a type 2 diabetic and is no longer, I can bring 10, if not 20. So everybody's talking, but they ain't doing. So I want you to really understand that. Like, and we're proven. So a whole bunch of people are talking, and they got great theories, and they can cite papers, but they can't show you people. They can't bring real people to the table that have walked it out and have lost 5 to 290 pounds eating regular everyday food, not avoiding food, eating regular everyday food. I've been at this for a long time, and I watch a whole bunch of, there's network marketing companies that see me and watch me and steal from me and try to get ideas, but they'll never beat me. They'll never beat me because they don't bring the truth to the table. There's other companies and a whole bunch of people that they get ideas from me and they learn from me. They do. But they can never beat me. And they may have the money and they may have the budgets to really reach out there and win over a whole bunch of people with this much of what I bring to the table. But they can never beat me. Eventually they will fall short. And this is not to be pompous or to come across overconfident. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm in this because I want to make a difference in the lives of people. I am not in this just to make money. I am in this to make a difference. And I've been proving it year in, year out. I have clients been with me over 20 years. They're still with me. I've had clients be with me for a while, jump ship, go try some crazy ass diet. They'll come back. Because once you experience the truth, you can fool yourself for a while, but eventually you'll come back. Especially if you want to make the most of the quality of your life. You want clarity, you want truth. And so when I put together the Food as Medicine conference, I was going to wait until next year, and I was like, no, I'm not going to wait. People need the truth now. And not only people who want to become a coach, but people who just want to know. You want to know. I mean, imagine taking a supplement, believing that that supplement is helping your health, only to find out a year later it's been hurting your health. More people today than ever in history are being diagnosed with various cancers. A lot of the cancers that people are experiencing are because they either avoided certain food groups, or they're taking some type of supplement, or they're consuming too much of something. It's mind-blowing. And there's like, who to trust? Who do we believe? The government told you for years that eating cholesterol, like egg yolks, would cause you to have high cholesterol. And that high cholesterol would establish itself as built up plaque in your arteries, which then becomes a stroke, or you experience a stroke, heart attack, increased mortality. But now we know, and the government and the American Heart Association have all agreed that they made a mistake. That's not true. Now, if you know someone who's in their 70s or their 80s, they spent their entire life thinking that eating egg yolks would cause their cholesterol levels to be elevated. And now we find out that that's a lie. See, my clients don't come to me just for losing weight. If you reach out to me and you want to be coached, or you reach out to any of our coaches, or you want to become a coach, we represent the truth. And there's a ton of registered dietitians, ton of clinical nutritionists and nutritionists, a lot of organizations out there that are just lying. They educate you and give you information, more information overload, and you ain't got no methodology, you ain't got no system, you don't have anyone like mentoring and showing you how to make it work. You're just reciting or regurgitating information that was given to you, and it's probably not even real. People want the truth. And so instead of waiting on coaches and people who want to be the ones that empower you, and trust me, I'm all about working with coaches and getting people certified. I wanted to make available a program, a conference. Like, people go to conferences for sales, they go to conferences to learn how to do network marketing, they go to conferences for all kind of stuff. Let's put together a conference, a virtual conference where you don't have to get on the plane, you don't have to get a hotel, you don't have to spend money eating out. You could just, quarantine yourself somewhere, and for 2 days, gather the information and then see the application of the information. And now, when you're a nurse, or you're a doctor, or you're a pastor, or you're a church leader, or you're a network marketer, now when you recommend things to people, you have some data, some real evidence behind it. And you can know that what you're recommending is actually not just about what they look like on the outside, because there's a lot of people that look good on the outside. They're still being diagnosed with cancer, and they're still like experiencing osteoporosis, and they still are set up to have all kind of problems as they mature in life. So I don't care what you look like on the outside. You could be overweight, underweight, obese. What's going on the inside? And that brings us back to food as medicine. Now, before I give you the nuggets for today, let me ask a couple questions. Okay, let me see here. Look at Stephanie. What's up, Stephanie? Stephanie and I go way back, and we have some big things we're going to do in the future. But Stephanie says, exactly, eggs, good, bad, good again. So much confusion. There's so much confusion. So much confusion. Now, I take pride in making sure I'm clear and current. And if I have made a recommendation in the past that I know is not helping people today, I have come out multiple times and said, hey, for whatever reason, or for many reasons, or for this specific reason, I shared this certain information, I apologize, because my eyes have been open and I've seen the real data. So I don't mind eating crow. But whatever I'm sharing is the best of what I know at that very moment. Okay? So let's open up by asking you guys this question. If someone asked you, what is food, or how would you define what food is? What is real food? What would that be? Like what is real food? And you probably never had someone ask that question. And maybe you have, and maybe you know the answer. But most people I see on Instagram and social influencers, every time I ask them this question, they guess at first. Then they eventually come to this wall where they realize they don't know shit about what real food is. And here they are influencing people who follow them and believe them to eat and to like do certain things with nutrition, and no one's defining what real food is. Now, this is nothing new. Hippocrates, over 400 BC, he said that let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. He also said that all disease begins in the gut. And he said quite a few things that's over 2,000 years ago and is relevant right now. So what is food? How would you define food? Okay, you have a baby that's born. You have maybe a grandchild. You have friends you care about. You have maybe a parent that you love. You share food, you break bread with them. What is food? Let's start there, because then you're going to have clarity to what I mean by food as medicine. And then you'll quickly see how the majority of the government has no clue, as well as these health insurance companies that we're helping. They don't know. They are focused on managing business in the healthcare realm. It's not about managing your health and helping you thrive. It's about getting along now and making sure I keep my job. That's what it's about. And if someone can argue that, bring it. Because I'm a guy that actually does the work. Like, I actually do the work. I spend the time with the people. I see the results. I see the consistent outcomes. It's not theory. I'm not on the chalkboard telling you like what would work. Pop, pop, pop. Which is go to YouTube. Just search around. You don't see them sharing clients. You don't see them saying, hey, this is Linda. She lost 110 pounds. Hey, this is Debbie. She's down 30 pounds. Hey, this is Sheila. She used to be a type 2 diabetic and not anymore. Hey, they're not doing that because they don't have clients that are successful. They're really good at explaining and making it sound great, but they ain't doing the work. Because if what most of those people are touting and preaching, if it was true, they would have people that they would introduce you to. I do. I have a whole bunch of them. Now, I also know from a biblical standpoint that seeing is not always believing, right? They watched Jesus walk on water. They saw it with their own eyes. And they still had moments of doubt. I could bring a Linda on here, and I could bring a Debbie, and I could bring a Trudy, and I could bring all these people. They'll tell you how they used to be diabetic, how they used to be on blood pressure medication, how they used to take statins. Now they don't anymore. They feel great. They ate everything. And a lot of people still wouldn't believe it. So I get that too. Sometimes it's the messenger, and it's kind of how you, the charisma and how you, display the information, right? That will get people to go, oh yeah. Because I just saw that today. One of my clients, and I'm sharing this with you with love. I'm not going to mention your name. I'm going to call her D. D, I've been helping for a long time. Her husband saw something on YouTube, and it said, hey, if you make this little recipe, it's like a juicing thing, you could burn off that belly fat. Now, I hadn't talked to her in a couple months. She's still my client. But then she checked her glucose, and it was like well over 150. And it had never been over 100. She sent me a text. I said, check it tomorrow morning and then call me. She texted again. It was much higher. I got on the phone. I'm like, what are you doing differently that, I haven't talked to you in a couple months, but what's going on? I'm just doing this one thing that, is really helping my husband. I go, what's that? And she explained to me what it was. And it was this pure juice. Well, I know that if you eat fruit, it's better than drinking fruit. If you eat fruit, it's better than drinking fruit. One more time. If you eat fruit, it's way better than drinking fruit. What do I mean by that? It's not just about glucose, because if you look at the glycemic index, the glucose levels may be the exact same as far as the response, whether you eat it or drink it. But if you look at the insulin levels, the insulin's way up here. If you eat the fruit, it's way down here. Drink it, eat it. And when you have elevated insulin, that always comes before type 2 diabetes. That comes usually before blood pressure challenges. That comes before erectile dysfunction. That come before the migraines. That come before the extreme symptoms of PCOS. You follow me? But your doctor and most people you come in contact with are not explaining insulin to you that way. Many people think insulin is what becomes resistant. It's the receptor on the cells that becomes resistant to the insulin. It's not the insulin that becomes resistant. That's minute, but that's a big deal. So what is food as medicine? Anybody want to take a shot? See how quiet it gets? I have some people live. I got people live from LinkedIn. I got people live from YouTube. I got people live from Facebook, multiple pages. And no one has taken a shot at defining what food is, because we don't even know. So let me simplify it for you, okay? Because when you do the food as medicine course, you won't be sitting there not knowing. You actually know. So those of you in the network marketing and you sell supplements, ashamed of yourself if you don't like take the steps. It doesn't have to be with me, but a shame on you that you're not getting yourself educated. And these companies are not educating you to be able to explain the basics of nutrition, especially food, as you're pushing supplements. Shame on those people who are always out there, look at me, look at my protein this, my protein that. Shame on you for influencing people to worsen their situation in most cases. Not all, but in most cases. It's people like this that are injustice to the people who really want help. That's why those of you who really want to understand nutrition and you're actually wanting to buy supplements and you're wanting to be informed, do it for you. So you're not influenced by people who are misinformed. Don't get caught up in the hype. My client, who she has access to me, fell prey to this drink. And now we're looking at being a type 2 diabetic, and we got to now reverse that. She had no problems with her sugar levels, but it was the insulin resistance that set her up for an increase of the glucose. So, what is food? Well, if I were to summarize it, and I'm going to summarize, I wrote a couple things down for you. I'm not going to give it all away, but if you want to learn more about food as medicine, we have a course coming up. If you're a community healthcare worker, I strongly recommend you join our virtual conference. If you're a nutritionist or a registered dietitian, strongly recommend you join this conference. If you're someone who actually cares about your health, and you want to make the most of it, or you're someone who wants to reduce the risk of cancer, I strongly recommend you come on board. One of my clients reached out to me who has survived cancer a couple times. She says, will cancer be addressed? I said, absolutely. I have two of the top oncologists in the United States that are going to be presenting. Either a presentation they're going to do in the course, or I'm going to interview them and ask the questions of the people, as well as drive home the things that everyone would benefit from knowing when it comes to reducing the risk of first and recurrence of cancer. If you have survived cancer and you don't see the value in that, what's wrong with you? Seriously. And that's not to be insulting, but nobody wants cancer. And you may say, well, I do my own research. Okay, keep doing your own research. But I guarantee you, if I were to sit down with, I'm going to say 99.5% of anyone who's done their own research around cancer, I'm going to make them feel like they don't know jack about it. Because I'm in it that deep. And I've spent a lot of time with people, not Googling, not reading articles, but with people who have treated people for 30 plus years, who are also wise and have empathy and compassion. So you can go and read and you can think that you figured it out and you have the answers, but why not get the real answers? So bring all of that knowledge you have to the conference and ask questions so that you gain additional clarity instead of just guessing. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking food as medicine. So what is food? What is food? Well, it's not delivering food. When you go to the healthcare industry, all they talk about is food delivery, giving access to fresh fruits and vegetables. Okay, go drop a box off at the average home of fruits and vegetables. Not every home is going to eat it all. Deliver 3 meals a day. Let's see how that works out. You're going to have an overwhelming amount of food that's going to be put in the trash. It's not going to be eaten because you're not meeting every family where they are when it comes to their personal palate preferences. So what is food? Okay, let me ask you. This is a yam. Is this food? Let's say you grow it or you go to the store and buy it. Would this be food? in comparison to, like, let's say red vines, licorice. Is licorice food? Which one is food? If I go to Chick-fil-A and get a chicken sandwich, is that food? So let's understand what food is, because we live in a world where there's a lot of hypocrisy, right? And we don't want to be trapped there. We want clarity. So food as medicine is all about you being fully informed on what food is, and can it replace medicine, or is it something that's more on the preventative side? I say one and the same because I've experienced it. I've seen it numerous times. If someone's taking metformin for their diabetes, I've gotten them off of that, and we ate food, and now they're no longer a diabetic. But some people just don't want to hear it. And you know what's sad is that there's a psychology around all of this, because if based on my experience, most women want to know. And I'm not saying all men, but most men, or let's say many men, are the ones who block the women from optimizing health, because the men don't give 2 cents. They would rather wait until it gets so bad that they got to go in. Whereas women, you guys are way more proactive. I see it day in, day out. I watch men go, I don't want to do that program. Why not? I can do it on my own. Okay, do it on your own. Let's see how that works out. But women, you guys are different. I mean, there's a part of me, and I hate to go extremes here, but if women were running things, which I do believe you guys are to huge extents, everything would be better. We'd be healthier. Women, like, really, I mean, come on, guys, seriously. They're proactive, they're preventative, they want to be healthier, and it's usually the guys that are disrupting things. So when you go to a man, you go, all right, so what is food? Oh, yeah, they don't want to talk about it. Now, a woman, she's interested. So what is food? So let me just look. So the definition of food, substance consisting essentially of protein, carbohydrates, fats, and other nutrients that basically nurture the body, contributes back to the body, nurtures the body for growth, for sustainability, for quality. So nurture. So if it's not food, it does the opposite. So if food nurtures our health, if it's not food, it hinders our health. Wow. And that says it all, man. So then it's just a matter of, like, how do I create a life framed around the convenience of eating real food? If I can do that, then I'm on my way. Now, I'm not saying you can never eat cake, because a lot that makes up cake, I wouldn't really consider that nurturing your health. I would consider a lot of it hindering your health. So we're not saying it's an all or nothing. But food as medicine is something every family would benefit from having access to. It puts you in a position where you're informed. Because once you're not informed, you're leaving it up to your doctor and other people to inform you. And then whatever they inform you on is based on you taking on their belief that what they're saying is real. Now, you may be thinking, okay, Robert, well, how do I know what you're saying is real? That's why we go the extra mile and bring a ton of evidence and clinically proven outcomes of real people that is in alignment with the evidence we bring to the table. That's how you will know. So it's not just my word or me sitting in front of a camera going, hey, some of you actually care about your health. Some of you don't want cancer. Some of you have experienced cancer and you're like, I don't want that again. Some of you are like, hey, I mean, are these supplements hurting my health? I mean, I'll end on this unless you guys have a specific question. I shared, I don't know, a few months back that there's a certain ingredient in a lot of supplements that is linked to both association and causation of various cancers. And there's some companies that are selling supplements that have this ingredient. And I had a few people reach out to me who sell some of these supplements and saw the ingredient, and they said, "Hey, can you give me the evidence or the papers, the citations on what you're saying about this ingredient? Because I want to bring it to our company's, you know, like their executives or all the people in charge." And I go, "Absolutely." And I forward them, you know, maybe a dozen different papers, and there's way more than that. Two of them I didn't hear back from again. And because on Facebook, I was curious one day, I went to see if they were still selling the supplements, and they still sell the supplements. Even though they saw that there is evidence that says if people are consuming this supplement, they have an increased risk of various cancers, and they are still selling it. No, I'm not shaming them. I'm shaming you and anyone who wants to remain unaware, ignorant to the truth, because you're the one that must be informed. You want to be informed. It's not their responsibility to inform you. I mean, I think it is, but they don't have to because they're thinking about making money. And you're a client that buys that supplement and you're just walking around do, not questioning anything and just assuming that what they are recommending you buy is giving you everything that the marketing says it gives you. That's absolutely horrible. Horrible. Now, one of the people came back to me and was just crushed. She was crushed. She felt horrible. But guess what? She's still selling it because it will affect her bottom line. So you know how people will look at politicians and say they sell out and that they're compromised? On a really small level, there's a lot of people pushing certain supplements and they don't care about your health. They just care about themselves. Now, all that being said, there's some good supplements out there. I mean, I recommend some. There's some like, hey, I think everyone would benefit from taking a vitamin D. Everybody would benefit from taking a really solid vitamin C. Everyone could benefit from taking zinc. There's a lot of like, and we got it down pretty well. And there's a lot of data that supports by taking these certain supplements. I mean, I have them as part of our detox drop. And everything's been vetted to make sure these are the supplements that 100% are going to nurture health instead of hinder it. All right. My goal was not to preach, but I'm kind of preaching. So let's go with food as medicine and let other people know about it. Even if you don't want to attend the virtual conference, hey, tell other people because they would actually benefit from it. Maybe you're too busy, maybe you don't have the time, maybe you already know everything. But I look forward to seeing you there. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me or my assistant. We are here to provide. But let's get people healthier, you guys. Let's turn it back and go back to our roots. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. We know that all disease begins in the gut. We know that gut health helps mental health. We know that the balance of your gut plays a huge role on if you're able to lose weight and if if you have an increased likelihood of absorbing the nutrients. Because many people have dysbiosis, disruption of the gut, and they're not getting everything. They're eating it, but they're not getting everything. So sometimes you got to do that work because that's how you begin reversing things. Okay? So I'm going to be back and I'm gonna have a candid conversation following this video with one of our coaches who got her first client today. Her, well, not her first, but her, well, I'm gonna call her first real client today. And I'm so proud of her because now she's on her way. And so she's going to ask questions to me that a lot of people ask questions of her. So she's going to play devil's advocate to where she becomes the average person who wants to better understand, number one, weight loss. Number two, how to lower your blood sugar naturally with food. And number three, how to get off medications. All of that is part of our promise when you become one of our clients and you learn the diet-free life methodology. So that's going to be a good one. So make sure you, if you haven't gone to our YouTube channel, go there, like, subscribe, so that when it does upload or we go live, you'll be notified. And then you know you can always go back or go to the site when you have the time, or maybe you're driving and instead of listening to the radio, you can just listen to the conversation we have at your convenience. All right. Let's see here. Before I go, Rebecca Sue, what's up? She says, provided by God, not by factories. Amen. All right, we got this. Okay, let's make it happen. Let's make a difference. Instead of sitting around, there's a lot of people just talk about wanting to make a difference and do nothing because all they can think about is how they want to like thrive and just it's all about them. It's like unbelievable. Sometimes you learn something and what's important. Like one of my clients, Jody's amazing because she goes with what Jack LaLanne once said. If you're excited about something, you don't keep it a secret. You share it with other people. And she shares. One of my other clients, Heather's introduced me to a ton of people. She doesn't keep it a secret. She shares. And if they want to take advantage of the opportunity, then they'll take advantage of the opportunity to learn about food, learn about nutrition, and put them in a position where they win. And I have a whole bunch of people like that. They share. And that's what I have in common with those people. We share because we really do care. It's going to be a good day. So you guys, I'm telling you, don't miss the next one because Stephanie, who's going to interview me, she's really good. She's got a natural talent for this stuff. And she's very intuitive to certain things. And I believe it'll be a dynamic conversation. We'll provide a whole bunch of answers, solutions for people who are looking for things they can do today. Other than that, I'll see you guys at the upcoming virtual conference. I won't be bugging you every week about this, but as we get closer, I'll do more and more posts about it. Unfortunately, as we get closer, it's going to cost more. So that's why you want to take advantage of the early bird registration if you catch it in time. If not, we're always thinking about making sure the price is right or it's not too expensive because I want more people to be aware of it. And then invite people, share this with other people so that you're not the only one that benefits, right? Let's get other people in this movement to get everybody healthier. All right. So until the next one, I'm Robert Ferguson.